Welcome back to the Untouchaballs podcast. Caden and Evan here, bringing you another MLB episode. Got a lot of stuff to go over today, but first off, Evan, how are we doing tonight?
I am doing tremendous, Caden. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good, Ev. Doing pretty good. First off, though, we want to talk about a team that's not doing so good to start this season, and that is the Baltimore Orioles. A team, a lot of talent, a lot of hype surrounding this team and this lineup. And right now, they are last in the AL East with a 13 and 21 record, 8 games under 500. And it's just the start of May, and we're already seeing an Orioles team that should be better than this completely failing to even meet or get close to expectations.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there was obviously a lot of people talking about they had a down off season because they didn't address the problem of pitching. That was it last year, and they lost their ace in Corbin Burns, and they replaced them with Sugano, like a 35-year-old rookie. Um, Charlie
And
Morton.
Charlie Morton.
Yeah, so like they didn't really do much there, and the pitching's been brutal, um, as expected. But unexpectedly, the bats have not been there at all. I'm looking at it right now. Gunnar Henderson is their average leader right now with a 252 average. Um, Insane. It's just there's nothing's going right for the Orioles to start the year. Um, it really isn't. I mean, I know it's early, but I'm pretty worried about the Orioles. I don't think. I mean, it's in the AL East, man. This is gonna get tough, man. There's nothing that really like they're missing outside. Like, okay, Kyle Brash is supposed to come back eventually, like after All-Star break, but like there's not that many injuries. Like, okay, I could see the bats getting better, but I don't see the pitching getting better. So it's like I really am like worried for the Orioles.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. I think you kind of have to be worried with the Orioles here with this sluggish start. Where, yeah, the pitching was already an issue with them last year, but they had Corbin Burns as that ace to kind of help burden that load with the group. Like he was able to come in and help settle some of that. Now you lose him, and like we said, you bring in 35-year-old rookie in Sugano and 42-year-old Charlie Morton, who has gotten rocked this year. Like you didn't address what was already a position of need. You just kind of made it tried to fill a gap, and it just hasn't really been working. Where I mean, Sugano hasn't been bad. Charlie Morton has been horrendous, and then yeah, like you're saying with the lineup, yeah, Gunnar Henderson's your batting average leader at 252. Not great. We're only 2 months into the season. Aaron Judge is hitting 412 right now. Not even 2 months. We're a month into the season, and you don't have a player you know, like 252. That's your best qualified batting average. Like
I believe
this
Ryan
lineup is
O'Hearn is a little higher, but he doesn't have qualified at bats right now.
no, but Ryan O'Hearn has been actually raking. He's
No, he's
nine
just a little
nine
bit.
nine fifty three OPS, 7 bombs. He just doesn't qualify because he's a platoon, but he's doing that job extremely well. But kind of going back, yeah, like the reason for concern is what you're saying. Like they're not missing any pieces due to injury. The lineup, like you assume you'll see Gunner get back to what we've seen. You think this slump Adley's been in since kind of the All Star break last year. Well, will eventually end. And there's a couple other bats that you think can start getting better that there should be improvement there, but the pitching staff, unless you make a big move to get a true kind of ace of the staff, then that's where this team's gonna fail because they just don't have anyone there to be a frontline starter of that rotation.
Yeah, I think nailed it on the head there. I think right now, actually, he's hurt, but Zach Eflin's probably your ace right now. Which, if he's
Yeah.
your ace, you're in real trouble. Also, Jordan Westburg is hurt. I forgot, but he was slow when he started too. Not a very good start, but in this division, like I mean, obviously Tampa Bay again is winning games. I mean, they're close to 500. Toronto's not an easy team to play. Like, there's no easy teams to play in this division. Like, they really got to step it up very, very soon, or they're gonna be in trouble. Which long term, I still like the Orioles. They're still young and a big core, but just this is, I think it's gonna end up being a throwaway year for them. Like, because they kind of screwed themselves in the off season. You know, like this is exactly what they're asking for, honestly.
Yeah, I think yeah, that last line kind of spot on. This is kind of what they're asking for. You don't do anything in the offseason besides bringing in two very old pitchers and lose a 44 home runs, and your ace, who was a sub 3 ERA last season. You lose both those, bring in basically nothing, and Tyler O'Neill,
Yeah.
and expect to at least be around the same as you were last year. Like, I don't think that's a reasonable expectation that you can have when you just don't have the pitching. And like you said, it's a very competitive AL East where Yankees and Red Sox are good. Toronto's tough win. I mean, and Tampa Bay's always just kind of frisky no matter what. That like it could be a lost year for them if they don't kind of stay up because this is a team that has aspirations, that a team that feels like they should be competing in the playoffs come October. That something's got to change. And they're going to have to make some sort of move, at least in my eyes, if they even want to have that chance to be playing in October.
Do you think they do that? Do they address that issue, the pitching issue, in the off season, or is this going to be something they do mid season?
I think it'll kind of depend on what arms we see available at the deadline. Like, if there's no like really true like worthy arms worth giving up some of your better prospects for, then it's not worth it. But if like theoretically, I don't know, the Mariners need a bat, you give up one of your
Yeah,
young guys to get one of their
better arms.
Rolodex of arms,
Yeah.
like even Emerson Hancock. Like, I don't know, but something like that. Like I think they're gonna find good or bad. I think come deadlines they're gonna add a starting pitcher.
Yeah.
It's
So you
just
move
if there's
more
someone
likely.
good available, they need to be aggressive towards top end talent if available, if they actually want a chance at competing this year.
Yeah. I mean, they still got to lock up all those guys, right? Like Gunner, Adley, like those guys
Yep.
still got to sign, right? So like now that you think about it, like I'm thinking like, oh, is there any big time pitchers in the offseason that are gonna be coming off? Like they could go out and try and get, but like that was the issue. They didn't go after Freed, they didn't go after these other guys that like that's the thing too. Yeah, they lost Burns, but like they lost Santander to like a rival, but like these the rivals are signing guys and they didn't, you know.
Yep.
And like yeah, how you gonna address the starting pitching issue if you already got to you can't let Gunner go, you can't let Adley go, you really can't, you know. Um, so they're a little there's some worries out in Baltimore for sure.
100%. Speaking of other worries, Dwyer, who's worrying us right now?
Oh, Caden, I'm looking south. I'm looking at a warm place, a lot of palm trees right now. Over in the NL East. Uh, the Marlins. Something's going on there in the Marlins. You see, I would be picking Dwyer's disappearing player from the Marlins because there's not a lot of players to pick from. But this one for sure, Sandy Alcantara, the reigning Cy Young, or the former Cy Young pitcher himself, coming off the Tommy John surgery, obviously. Um, just an absolutely awful start to the year. I mean, 8.42 ERA in 7 games started, 31 innings, only 23 strikeouts, 18 walks. Caden, this is brutal. This is awful. Um, I mean, you could say, yeah, I guess because he's on the Marlins, and like I will give him the benefit of the doubt. Like he's had to pitch in the last couple games. Sandy's had to pitch. He pitched as the Dodgers back-to-back games. Um, Then he had Philadelphia, he had the Mets, he had Cincinnati. So he has some tough opponents, but still, like this is the reigning MVP. This is a Cy Young, like what 2, 3 years back. So like this is like one of those guys you think like, oh, you wouldn't have a problem like against anybody. And he's 29. Like his velo's there, which is the weird thing. So I don't know.
Yeah, a little, I guess, side tangent before I go into Sandy. You were just talking about Sandy had those two back-to-back starts against the Dodgers. A Dodgers pitcher who had back-to-back starts against the Marlins, who's just coming off injury, and Tony Gonsolin. I just want to kind of mention him when you kind of brought that up, where he's looked like this is something that I just the Dodgers don't need more above average starting pitching, and they just got that more with Tony Gonsolin, who's come back from injury. Yeah, it's against the Marlins, but in those two starts, he's shoved in both of them. Like he looks like he might be back, and I just want to throw that out there that he looks nasty, and I hate the Dodgers even more for that. But speaking of Sandy, yeah, you're right. Like if you were to pick a Marlins player for Dwyer's disappearing player of the week, he's the only possible player you could pick. And yeah, it's been a dreadful start to the year. Obviously missed all last year recovering from Tommy John, and you're like, okay, Sandy, this is his chance. He's gonna if he comes in, has a good start to the season, we're gonna see the Marlins trade him at the deadline, get some prospect, and some team with a future is gonna get a very good pitcher in Sandy. And while I still believe we'll probably see him get traded at the deadline, this start to the season's just hurting what the Marlins could possibly get out of him in return. And it's just not good for Sandy. Where, yeah, like you're saying, just 3 years ago, back in 2022, he was the NL Cy Young. He was good again in 2023. Like it was a step back from the Cy Young year, but it was still a good season. Obviously, then the TJ, yeah, he comes in here, 8.42 ERA right now through 31 innings, worth negative .7 WAR. He has 18 walks to only 23 strikeouts. Like the command has not been there for Sandy to start the year. That's something you really want to see him start honing in. He's already given up 6 home runs in those 31 innings as well. So basically a home run every 5 innings he's throwing. And he's given up too much hard contact. He doesn't have that feel with the ball right now on the mound to place it where he wants it. It's leading to free passes and a lot of long balls. And it might just be he's not maybe trying as much or caring like it kind of seems with Lou Bob in Chicago with your team. Like he just
Oh, you think
doesn't
it's
really
that?
care
Like he's not
because
competitive?
like it might just be they don't care because they're on such a bad franchise. They're like, I'm gonna just go out and do it and not really try. Like maybe we see Sandy get traded and all of a sudden he turns it back on, or maybe we're just seeing a rough patch to start after missing a full year. Because I still do think we can see Sandy get back to that 2022-2023 area with him being one of these better pitchers in baseball.
Yeah, I think it's more Russ than anything. I don't think he's trying to sell him for
Like, yeah, I think
um
it's just
I mean like
yeah, not
the
playing for
Velo's there.
over a year.
Yeah. I think yeah, exactly. With the walks and all that, it's a lot of Russ. Um like you said, it is hurting his trade value. And like I was gonna mention him when we're talking about the Orioles, like I think there's a good guy for them to try and go get. Right now, especially now, but I don't know, like I mean, if he keeps up this bad, you'd think that they put him on the IL for like a stint or something, or I don't even know what you do because you can't trade him. Like his value's gonna be an all-time low, you know. I mean, maybe, but I don't think you're
Well,
gonna
I
get
mean,
rid of
and
him.
they still have, I think, 3 years of control on him, so they don't have to even
So you
they
don't
don't even
have to.
trade him for a couple more years. It's just that's what the Marlins like to do.
Yeah, I mean, give
Actually,
him
I
more
think
value if he's
Sandy
good.
has 4 more years of control
Wow. No, I mean,
because they traded Jake Berger this offseason with I think he had 3 years left of control,
okay.
and they just gave him
Wait,
to
you
the
see, he got
Rangers.
sent down. That's
Yeah, he
actually
got
another
demoted. He's
guy.
been hitting. The Rangers fired their hitting coach. Like he's easily another
Yeah.
guy who could have been this. The Rangers' hitting's been brutal. Jake
Not.
Berger's been
Yeah.
awful.
Well, I should have used him as the Dwyer disappearing player. Freaking Jock
I mean,
Peterson.
Sandy's bad too.
Jock Peterson's not even hitting
Jock
over
Peterson.
100. I should have used Jock Peterson. At least Jake Burger's hitting over 100, bro. God dang, Jock Peterson
Yeah,
freaking
I guess we got a little group disappearing player this week
yeah, they could be the
between
one that gets
Sandy,
disappeared.
Jock, and Burger.
Yeah, the bats are gone, but no, yeah, back on Sandy. I feel like he's gonna figure it out. I mean, the veto's there. I think he just needs like next Sunday he pitches against he's slated for the White Sox. If he does not shove against the White Sox, I'm really nervous about Sandy Alcantara because everybody shoves against the White Sox. That's
That's
just
the
how
start
it
to
is.
determine if we should be worried or not this Sunday against your Sox.
So if like right now on Sandy, if the meter from one is like not worried at all to 10 being like, oh, it's over, I'm probably at like a 3 right now with him.
I would agree. I would agree.
If he sucks against the White Sox, it's gonna go up to about a 6. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, if he goes like
time to
4 innings, 6 runs,
yeah, I'm
I'm a
nervous.
little scared.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, me too. But we'll see.
we'll see. Now to end it off here, though, we got a little interesting little thing we're going to go through where we were looking at the home run leaders to start so far through the seasons. We're a little bit over a month. And there's a couple names that caught our eyes as just kind of surprising in the fact that they're up here with the usual suspects in like a Judge Schwarber, Otani, and stuff. They're like, we have a trio at tied at 10 right now, Dwyer, with Corbin Carroll, Spencer Torkelson, who we didn't even know if he'd have really a spot for everyday playing time at the start of the year, and the youngin himself, James Wood, showing that he really does have that
Power, lights out.
elite power. Out of
Yeah,
those
he's
kind of
just
three, I guess, like what's the most surprising, I guess, out of those three that are out there at double digits already?
Corbin Carroll for sure. I think like Wood had it. Oh, never mind. I don't say for sure. Probably Torkelson, just because.
Like, I think it's got to be Torque.
Yeah, just like he's a guy that if he had a rough start to the month, he would have just gotten optioned down. Carroll or Wood wouldn't have had that. They weren't at that point in their career yet. But Carroll's definitely up there just because he hasn't ever shown this before, and I still don't think
Yeah,
he's gonna
Carroll's yeah.
keep it up. But like you could see Torkelson hitting bombs, you know what I mean? So that part of
Mm.
it isn't shocking, but yeah, in a sense, it is kind of shocking. He has an 889 OPS and it's May. Um, Wood is cool though. It's cool seeing Wood like he's only 22, man. Like, he's freaking good. He's really good. Um,
Yeah.
if I were to say like if you were to tell me right now who I think finishes with the most home runs out of those three right now, that's so tough. I think I'd probably say Wood. That'd be kind of crazy, but
Okay. I was gonna say the same thing when you said
yeah,
that question where Corbin Carroll, like it is, I think, very surprising to see him up here already where he's shown that he does have pop. Like he could be a good 20 to
more.
25 home run a year guy. But he's like showing a lot more pop to start the season than we've seen in the first 2 years. That maybe we're unlocking some sort of new Corbin Carroll where maybe we do see him be a 30-30 guy every year.
Less stolen bases too. Only 5 stolen bases on the year. Um,
Which, I mean, I think you take that trade.
yeah, I mean, if he's able to keep his average up, yeah, he's been 288, 943 OPS. That's just if he can keep it up is the question. I mean, his frame, I mean, 5'10", 165. I doubt he gets over 30 home runs. You think? I mean, maybe, but like, I'd be taking the under with that.
I would too. I would too. Like, it's definitely, he's got to cool off in the power department. For like, it won't be at this pace, obviously, but like, the most surprising, I think it has to be Torque, though, just in going into the season, like you were saying, if he had a bad couple weeks to start the season, he wasn't going to be on the major league roster anymore. Where Colt Keith was going to be the everyday first baseman. And Torque was gonna be fighting for a spot, but because of injuries, he's getting some run early, and he's been raking. Like, yeah, we've seen that he has pop. He went 30 home runs in 2023, but that was also like he had the 30 bombs. The rest of the offensive stats were not great. Hey, you're saying it right now, 10 bombs with an 889 OPS. No way that stays for Torque unless maybe he's finally showing why he was a top draft pick. But and then James Wood, like you're saying, it's awesome to see at 22 years old a player like showing who he is. Like Colorado, where like he's a 6'7" kind of speed demon. Where yeah, he's horrible in the field. Like I don't know why someone like him doesn't know how to play outfield. I would think he'd actually be pretty good at
Athletic,
defense.
yeah.
Apparently, he's just awful. But
Yeah, I just be a DH.
at the plate, he remembered that because last year he showed that he has elite exit velos. He just didn't know what pulling the ball in the air meant. But we're finally starting to
Figured
see
it out.
that.
He
And
figured it out.
because of that, it shows that he has insane pop and can hit the ball so far. Like, yeah, like you said, if we were to pick out of these three, most home runs at the end of the season, like you're saying, it might be crazy because it's only his second
Pretty much a
year. It's his
rookie, kind
first
of. Yeah.
full year. Yeah, like yeah, it's
Yeah.
his first full year. But I would say I do think he finishes with the most out of them. Like he has the most potential. Like he could
Oh yeah.
be a
He's
40 home
definitely.
run.
Yeah.
He could be a 40 home run in a season guy that he could go crazy. Like Torque also could. It's just Planet America is going to hinder
I
him
bet
as
on Wood.
well.
I just bet on
But
Wood.
I would agree. I would agree because also if Torque does start sucking, so these Tigers players are going to start coming back from injury.
Yeah.
He'll find his way to the bench if he starts going on a cold spell. And James Wood is just going to be playing every day no matter what.
Yeah, for sure. It's at the best.
Also up
Hey.
here on that list though, Dwyer,
Mm.
just one home run less is a player who had his worst career season last year, and then for some reason became basically that team's only offseason move. Talking about the great Seattle Mariners and Jorge Polanco. But Jorge Polanco is starting to hit like he's back with the Twins in like 2019, 2021 years, where he was going crazy, especially in that power department, where he's leading all second basemen in home runs right now, already at 9, which is tied for seventh in the league. It's a long list, but it's a top 10 number that not expected, especially with how bad this pairing went in Seattle last year.
You talking about Jorge Barry Bonds Polanco? Yeah, he's the man,
Oh, yeah.
man. Um, yeah. You see, look at his Savant page, and you're just like, holy crap, he's in the 100th percentile and expected batting average. Like, you're gonna bat like, what am I looking at right now? It's crazy. I don't buy it. Like he's always been a K guy, and he's not K'ing really much. Only a 12% K rate. Like that's he's gonna. I think he's just you ride the hot wave with him. I don't think he's gonna stay. Um, but yeah, he's obviously had big time years. Maybe I hope he proves me wrong. I have him in my fantasy team. I hope he proves me wrong, but I don't see it.
I
I
like
don't.
Jorge Polanco.
I mean, he's not this good. He's not 1100 OPS good. Um,
No,
I
no.
mean, 800 possibly. I think maybe 850 is a really good year, but no, yeah, he's not. This is gonna regression is coming, and it's gonna hit like a bus. I think.
Yeah,
There's a couple guys at nine.
I
There's a lot of guys at nine like that.
there is like I like Jorge Polanco a lot. I do. But you're right. There's going to be a lot of regression coming from where he's not this crazy power hitter by any means. He is a bigger strikeout guy. We just haven't been seeing that to start the year. That's gonna start coming back to his game as well. That while we could be in store back for a better Jorge Polanco season, back to what the Mariners were expecting when they signed him last year, when he had the like basically the worst year of his career, we could be definitely in store for a good Jorge Polanco season again, which is definitely what the Mariners need when Basically, like I say, he was their only offseason move.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, he's proven us wrong. Right? He's the hitter they needed, the chosen one. Um, I have thoughts. What do you think about PCA, P. Crow Armstrong? You think he's gonna stick? These 9 bombs. He's
Yeah.
missed 17 games, which is crazy.
Yeah. It's just been this really hot stretch this last couple of weeks, and yeah, I mean PCA has been looking great. I mean I've said it on this pod a couple different
You hate
times.
him.
I'm not a believer in PCA. I don't think he's gonna be able to be a high level producer with the bat. Like, well, I do think his glove is elite. Like, he will be one of the best defensive gloves in the outfield for a long time, I believe. Like that, 100%. I just don't think his bats,
That's good.
like his hit tool is that great.
2020. I think 2020 is definitely in the possibility for him easily.
This year, I definitely do think we can see 2020, but I also do think that might be the peak we see for him as well. Like he just doesn't have
He's
the
young.
yeah,
He
he
strikes
just
out a
doesn't have
ton.
like
He
that
strikes out a ton.
build and that power to really be a consistent home run hitter
Yeah, I
that I
agree.
do think we'll see. Like he's obviously like he's not going to keep up this pace, but we're
100%.
definitely I think in for a lot of like maybe like he's still I think going to be a, like make contact, but we're going to be in a big regression in that power department where come All Star break in a couple months in July. Wouldn't be surprised if he's only sitting at like 13, 14 home runs.
Okay, I like that. I want you to rank these guys for me. Okay. I want to
Okay.
involve Carson Kelly in this because he's had 8 home runs, so he's right there.
He's
Um,
been raking. Carson
Raking.
Kelly's a
He's got like a
dog.
1300 OPS somehow. I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on, but it's just
They
magically
keep throwing him fastballs, and all he does is rake on fastballs.
destroys him. Doesn't
He
know anything
destroys them, and
different.
they just and pitchers just keep throwing him fastballs.
Keep doing it. He's gonna show you, prove you wrong. If you were to rank between Pico Armstrong, Trent Grisham, Logan O'Hoppe, Polanco, and our boy Carson Kelly, who do you think has the most home runs out of that group? Who has the least amount of home runs out of that group?
Ooh. Most, I'm gonna go Logan O'Hoppe.
Really?
I think we at the end of the year we can see O'Hoppe anywhere between like 22 to 27, probably around there. Kind of be up like I think he's like up there for sure in catchers in the power department. Showing he can put a good swing on the ball, be one of the better offensive catchers. So I think that will continue. The least out of these, I think it'll be a competition. Well, actually, I don't know. Carson Kelly's a weird little wrench to throw in there because
Yeah.
who knows how long he's gonna just be a demon at the plate. Like,
He's
let
on
me
All
see. If I
Star
think
pace right
Carson,
now.
like, if I think see Carson Kelly ending with like maybe 15 home runs on the year, I
Who
don't think
between
it'll be
Kelly and who?
Polanco. Kelly, PCA, and Grisham.
Yeah, I'd say Grisham. I know
I
Grisham's
think all of them will finish in like the 13 to 17 range.
yeah. I think I agree with you there. I think it's between those three. I think honestly Polanco hits the most here. Um, I can see him getting for like 30. I could see it. He's done it. I do like O'Hoppe
Yeah.
though, but I feel like with the catching, he's not gonna play every day, and it's the Angels. To be honest with you, something's gonna happen to O'Hoppe. But I think Polanco is a. I know I was just shitting on him, but I think he's a. I think he's my. I feel like he's the safest bet to hit the most home runs here, just because he's done it.
He probably is the safest because, like you said, he has that experience. It also just kind of scares me though that he has to play some games at T-Mobile.
A lot of games, half his games at T-Mobile.
Yeah, all of his home games are there.
Yeah, it's not. That's not nice. Um, that's tough, man. There's some Tommy Evans at 8. God, this has just been
Tommy Edmonds just been raking ever since he became a Dodger.
Figures.
He became a Dodger, and his powers just went up.
You think
Like,
Eugenio Suarez ends up sticking?
hey, Henry
No
Suarez,
way. No way. Is it 10?
yeah, yeah, he ends up sticking.
Like, how many bombs do you think?
He does it every year. He hits 30 home runs a year in, year out.
Think so? That the 4 home run game was crazy. I can't believe he hit that. He's
Do
literally all he's
I?
doing is hitting home runs. That's it.
Do I? This is the career for Eugenio Suarez.
I'm looking at it right now.
His rookie year, he had 4 home runs. But then 13, 21, 26, 34, 49, 15 in 2020, and then 31, 22, 30.
Yeah, he's hitting 30 bombs. He's at least hitting
He
20
just hit
bombs.
Eugenio just hits bombs.
That's all he does. Literally.
Dude, and he plays a pretty good glove at third. Hits bombs
Yeah.
and plays a good glove at third.
That's what they need. Does what he asks of him.
Like Eugenio's just he's just a good baseball player.
Home run hitter. Yeah.
Strikes out a lot, like way too much. But other than that, he's
Yeah,
just
he's
a good baseball
serviceable.
player.
He's serviceable. He isn't like gonna. He's not
I mean,
gonna
he's
kill you.
better than serviceable.
Yeah, yeah. He's like. I wouldn't put him as a top 10 third baseman, but I'd put him at like top
No, he's
12,
not a top 10 third baseman,
12, 13.
but he's a top half third baseman.
Third base sucks as a position as a whole.
Actually, yeah, actually, third base is a great. He might be a top 10 third baseman now that I think
I'm gonna
about
look at
it.
that right now. I would guess he's probably close. Um, at least
He,
this year because what a brutal position. Yeah, so Bregman, Chapman, Machado, Michael Garcia has had a great year.
he has been nice.
Um, Devers is 5, Suarez is 6, Riley. So but like in real MLB terms, I'd obviously put J-Ram, Riley, Devers, Machado, Chapman, Bregman. Um,
Yep.
maybe Caminero. I don't know if you can put Caminero yet. I
Probably not.
guess maybe not.
Yeah,
Maybe he is because
yeah,
there really isn't, man.
yeah.
I would put Garcia over him. So yeah, maybe he's a top 10. Maybe we just hate on him. I put him in that
Well, you're
tag
hating on him.
to Paraguay's. Yeah, not
You're
really.
you're you're hating on him. I'm not.
I'm
You
not
you are.
hating. I don't know those all or nothing guys. I don't like him.
Yeah. See, you don't like Kyle Schwarber.
I like Kyle Schwarber, but like,
Everyone likes Kyle Schwarber.
yeah, it's Kyle Schwarber. Who's your guy, bro? I love him.
Like Schwarber's awesome. You cannot like him, even if he is your least favorite type of hitter.
He walks. He walks.
He does walk. He does
Suarez
walk.
doesn't
He
walk.
walks a lot. His OBP's nice because he walks a lot.
Yeah. Schwarber doesn't walk, or Suarez doesn't walk, so that's fine.
No, he doesn't.
You gotta be able to walk. Get on base, as Billy Bean would say.
Yeah, Schwarber's just his bobs.
4 home runs, bro, in the game. That's gotta be a good feeling.
Yeah, like, yeah. He had a 4 home run game. He rakes.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he had a fun night that
Oh, you know
night.
it. Well, anything else for us tonight, Dwyer?
Not, nope, nope. That's about it.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Untouchaballs podcast. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment down below. What are your thoughts on all this stuff we talked about? Do you think some of these players are going to say, out of those players Dwyer named, who do you see coming out on top of the home runs? Do you think Pete Crow Armstrong is actually going to be a power hitter, unlike me? Turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload of the Untouchables podcast for any of your favorite sports. And share this with your friends, family, strangers, neighbors, anything like that. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next time.